before in my life.
Well, and I can honestly tell you the fairgrounds guys have just did a great job over there this year, and they look fantastic. And we've had decent weather to grow stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Things look fantastic.
And it really is a matter of just staying on top of things, isn't it?
Right, just keeping up with stuff. And if it wouldn't have been rainy yesterday, I'd have brought you in a picture. But you know how I've talked about Jack's fertilizer.
Right.
Talked about staying on top of stuff. Well, I've got my petunia baskets out there. Well, on August 1st, I just quit fertilizing because it's about time to switch to fall anyway, so I quit fertilizing, and I'll bring in pictures of before and after, and it's absolutely amazing what those baskets look like today. I mean, if you looked at them now, you'd think they was on Jackie's deck.
No.
I mean, seriously.
That quickly.
Just since August 1st, yes. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Now, what about people that do have the baskets that are still flourishing? They're still
and again,
can you give them a shot in the arm?
Nothing wrong with keeping all of your container plants or your annuals and stuff. Just keep feeding them because we still got a lot of growing season left. So keep taking care of them. Perennials and stuff now, I wouldn't feed them anymore. It's time to start letting those, they're going to be going dormant pretty soon.
Wind down a little bit.
Let them wind down and get some good roots growing rather than the top growth.
So my tree, what is it, hibiscus?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus, thank you. So half of it lost all of its leaves, and I showed you a picture saying, what's going on? I kicked it up with Jack's, made sure it was staying watered. It's grown back. It looks like it's spring and flourishing.
Yeah, sometimes those hibiscus will, when there's a big change in the weather, when it goes from hot to cooler and stuff, and sometimes that'll happen during the summer, and they'll have a tendency to do that, but they'll come back for you.
Japanese beetles, those stupid, awful green, shiny beetles, tend to get on.
They're out and about right now, I can tell you.
And what do you do when you see those besides stomp all over them?
Well, there is some decent chemicals you can spray with nowadays that really take care of them good. But they're going to be, they're kind of short-lived, and they're going to be going away pretty soon. But
right.
A lot of them did a lot of damage already. And
Now, this is kind of a ridiculous question. It is chilly as you're heading out the door today. Do I need to be covering my plants yet?
There's no issues yet, but really the plants, a lot of the plants like this better than that 100-degree stuff day in and day out. And but it's just today's just a reminder that fall mums are just around the corner,
Yes,
and everything. And I wouldn't be surprised if when I went home last night, I closed the greenhouses up, and with the poinsettias in, I wouldn't be surprised if the furnaces didn't come on last night.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
Really?
Yeah. What do you like to keep it at?
We want to keep the poinsettias really rolling right now, so we like to keep it about 68 or 70.
Okay.
And it's a lot easier to keep the greenhouses 68 now as opposed to trying to keep it 68 in November and try to hurry them up. We want to get that plant built now, so it's looking good now, and then we can cool them down later on. And that's
well, let's talk about that. What'd you bring in with you?
Yeah, and I did bring a poinsettia in today. This is what we're doing now, and we're just, Nate and Joyce are just getting things kind of finished up. But this is our 3-plant poinsettia. This will finish out about into here and about like this here. On the poinsettias, if we don't do anything at all to this plant, this will just make us 3 nice blooms. Each one of those tops will come up, make a bloom. So what we do is we go through, we want more than 3 blooms on this plant. So we go through and we pinch these out like yay.
So what part are you taking off of here? Let me take a look at this.
Yeah, we just pinch that top part out.
Where it's starting to come up.
Yeah, and that's really not important.
That's not important? Okay.
No, we just want to get that top out of there, because when we take that top out of there.
And it's bleeding.
Yes, and they make a real mess, and they're sticky and it's yucky.
It's almost like milkweed.
Yeah.
Yes, it's terrible. But when we do that, these leaves have a little thing on top of them that are called nodes. So if we don't take that top out, we're going to get one big bloom at the top of that plant.
All right.
Okay.
Whereas if we take that top plant, and you can kind of see in there those little things coming.
In between the leaves.
In between the leaves.
The stems.
Yep.
Okay.
Each one of those will make a bloom. So by taking those tops out, rather than having 3 nice big blooms on that, we're going to have probably 20 to 25 blooms on that plant.
So it forces them to come up from where the stems are.
It brings those up.
I had no idea.
So you just have to take off the tops then?
Just take off the tops. So we just go through and pinch the tops out, and away we go with that. And we'll do that with the big ones, and so we'll have the big ones done this week, and then we'll go through and do the 6
It's a time-consuming process, isn't it?
It seems to take them guys quite a while.
How far along is this particular plant? Because I know when you start, they're about that big.
These were planted right after the 4th of July. So these were
that size, weren't
these
they?
were this.
Yeah.
Probably the 10th of July. And,
Okay. So about a month later.
Yep. So they come right along from there. But that's what I say. That's what the trick is to get all these. Why we need the heat to get these to break. So all those break and we get these going. You know, so we have plenty of blooms on it for Christmas time.
So can you propagate what you took off there?
We could, but if we did that now. It would make the plant wouldn't be big enough for Christmas.
Sure. Okay.
And you know, another thing I wanted to mention about poinsettias, and a lot of people carry these over, and we get a lot of questions on how to make them turn red again. Well, a poinsettia turns red when the what is it, September 23rd, when we start having more darkness than light, or what, 21st or whatever that is. That's what causes a poinsettia to turn red. More darkness. I mean, we could make this bloom in June if we wanted to, if it had more darkness than light. Okay. So if you have one of these in your house and you say, well, it never blooms again for me, the reason it doesn't is because, you know, in here anywhere with if these were in here all the time and it was light like this all the time, this would never turn red. Okay. It's the darkness. As opposed to the light. So the more darkness, so if it's in your house, you have to religiously every night put it someplace dark so it has more, so it has 12.5 hours of darkness, so it has more darkness than light.
Sure, okay.
And that's what you want to do with them. And the September deadline's coming up pretty soon, quicker than we think.
Very quickly.
Quicker than we think.
A month away
so.
or so.
That's what we're doing on those now. We got a lot of our mums are coming into bloom. We got these guys out there, 3 for $15. I got them in all different colors. Right there is the perfect stage to buy a mum. How that's just starting to color up.
And how long will that last? If we went and got 3 of these from you for $15, and we took these and put them in our big barrel that we have in front of our house.
If the weather, the hotter it is, the quicker they're going to bloom out. So you know, once we get into September and start having the cooler days and cooler nights, these are going to last you without any trouble at all. You just don't want to. You know, some people see these. Well, I want something with more color on it. Well, if they have more color on them, they'll be fine for a couple weeks, but they're not going to last you the season.
Right.
Absolutely the perfect way to buy mums there.
I'll tell you, there's not any hot weather. You know, you look out a couple weeks, there's nothing in the way of like another heat wave.
Well, you know, like I say, when we get into September, it is usually, you know, we're going to have some warm days, but it's, heck, we're only a couple ways from starting to get pumpkins and stuff. I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but this is loaded. Look what it's loaded with
that's going to have, there's literally hundreds of flowers on that, and once that does bloom out, it'll be hard to see any green on that plant. You'll just see
the way it should be.
See white, yep. And but yeah, the year's gone. I'd assume you're just about done racing, ain't you?
We are done, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's over, man.
Yeah, Knoxville only has another race. Knoxville has another race.
Game over.
Yeah, yeah. It's just getting towards the end. But we got a lot of nice mums now. I will say that we're always closed this week. The last week of the fair, I just spend the whole week with the grandkids, and we do our thing there. So. But next week we'll be start being open 7 days a week and be ready to rock and roll with mums.
Nice.
Okay, and that's going to start up on what day?
Monday. Monday of next week.
So starting Monday, you're closed now for the remainder of the fair, and then Monday you're open.
Monday we'll be open 7 days a week starting on Monday.